everyone, so we're back again today with another hair tutorial for you. This time I'm going to be doing a French braid on my model, just so you can see what it looks like when I do it on somebody else instead of just on myself. Keep in mind when you're watching this video that the hand movements for this are going to be different than when I do it on myself, so definitely check out the video of doing a French braid on yourself if you want to see what that looks like. But this is for if you're going to do it on one of your friends or your sisters like I'm doing. So we're going to separate into 3 sections just like normal. And we're going to be passing the outer sections over the middle section, alternating sides and adding new hair to the sections as we go down, okay? So I've got this kind of slowed down for you coming up here so that we can go over the sections, the hand movements closer. The left section is going to be under my first finger, the middle section is under my middle finger, and the right hand section is under my ring finger. Using my right hand, I'm pulling out a new section from the right side, and I'm going to add it to the section that's in my ring finger. And I'm going to use my right hand to kind of smooth it out and make sure that it looks nice. And then I'm going to keep holding that section in my right hand because this section in my right hand is now going to cross over the middle section from my middle finger. And that will be the first step of our braid, okay? So as you can see, I've crossed the right section over that piece that I had in my middle finger. And now I'm just smoothing it out to keep it away from the rest of the hair so it doesn't become a big tangle. And now we've got the first step. So I've still got the right section between my first finger, the middle section in my middle finger, and the new section that's getting added to under my ring finger. We'll look over the steps again when I go back to the right side because I don't want to switch sides and make it confusing for you guys. So once again, the left hand section is under my first finger, the middle section is under my middle finger, and the section that's getting new hair is under my ring finger. Okay, as you can see, smoothing it out once again. And then I'm adding it all into there. Just show you the pass over here. So I'm just going to pass it from my left middle finger over to my right middle finger. And at the same time as I do that, I'm going to bend that right section over and pass it over to my left hand. Okay, and now I'm doing the same movements again. And this time you can see I've held on to that section with my other hand. You can do that as well. I don't always do exactly the same thing every time, but this is just what I do. I really recommend you guys just play around with it and try to practice on somebody. Find somebody you can practice on. Find a doll with some really long hair, or like if you have a pet with really long ears that have really long hair. I don't know, maybe something like that will work. But I really just recommend you practice it as much as you can because you're going to find your own way of doing the hand movements, and whatever works the best for you is the way that you should do it. I've seen lots of other videos with different ways of doing the hands, so there's definitely not one way to do this, but this is just how I do it. So as you can see, I'm just moving down the hair, doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to keep the sections, the new sections, kind of approximately the same size each time I add a new section, just so that I get a nice uniform looking braid down her back. And it's just the same thing on repeat. When you go to the other hand, you do the exact same movements, you just flip it. So I'm just, once again, changing it between the middle fingers and just passing it over and then grabbing with that middle finger again so that I can keep moving on to the next piece. And I don't want to lose those pieces or get them mixed up with each other. So it's really important to keep one finger in between each one. That way you can keep them separate. If you have to use the person you're doing the braid on, they could probably hold one of those sections for you as well if you don't feel like you have enough fingers when you're first practicing especially. But eventually you will get so that you can do it with no help. And then we're just going to keep doing the same thing all the way down the rest of the hair. So when I get down to this bottom section, I like to try to keep it, I want to make sure I'm putting some of the bottom section in each new section. I've talked about this on my other videos as well. So I'm going to separate out about 1/3 of the hair from the bottom section, and I'm going to put it into this piece. I don't want to grab like half or the whole thing to stick into this piece, even though maybe that's how big I need of a piece to keep it the same size as those other sections, because then you're going to end up at the end of your braid with one section that has a really long chunk, because the hair that's at the very base of your neck is longer than the hair that's on top of your head by the time you get down there, because we're very close to the root right now, right, with those bottom sections. So I've just made sure I spread it out evenly throughout the whole braid. And now I'm just going to keep doing a regular braid without adding any more hairs, just alternating sides like usual. You can see I still do the thing with the middle finger, passing it back and forth between my middle finger, that new section because I just find that's the easiest. And then we got one little flyaway there, but I don't think it's going to fall out, so it's probably not too bad. And I'm going to stop the braid here just because she has some layers in her hair and it's starting to get a little frizzy, and that's perfectly fine. That's a nice place to end. We have a couple little hairs sticking out at the bottom. If you want, you can just hairspray those, but honestly, you can't really see them. We could see them because we were in person and she can feel them, but they're really not that noticeable. And that's a nice braid. You can always fluff it out a little bit, pancake it if you like. I've done that in some of my other videos, but it's not necessary here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and let me know what you think of this. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.